Hey guys, for the second episode of our 6-star Justification series, we got the Light Elemental Priz. Now, a lot of you might go, why would you ever 6-star this thing? Well, a little backstory. When I first started the game, I pulled him from a wish probably about 2 months into starting. So he was my first L&D monster that I ever got, and I was like, oh, he's got a reduced damage passive, that's pretty cool. All he hits, I didn't know anything about his skills. I knew continuous damage. I didn't know about max HP skills or anything like that. But I just thought he was really cool. I got him to 5-star max level. I used him all the time, and he was probably, I think, he was in my top 10 first 6-stars. I'm pretty sure because I was using him in dungeons at the time all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use him in dragons. I'm going to use him in giants. I'm going to use him all the time. Well, that didn't happen. He basically, I 6-starred him, and he kept dying all the time, and I was like, okay, Darien, I built a Darien. Darien was doing better, and Priz kind of just fell off the wayside for about 6, 7, 8 months. Then 6, 7, 8 months later, I was like, I think I have a use for him, and I started using him again. So, let's take a look at his skills and why I would be using him. Alright, so his first skill is attacks the enemy with sharp claws of light, inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns if you get a critical hit. So, high crit rate, you're going to get a dot on there. Tons of skill ups to increase the damage on that, so that's pretty good. Elemental Explosion, cause Element Explosion to attack the enemy. The inflicted damage is proportionate to the enemy's max HP. So he does max HP damage, which is always good against bosses. And it goes down to a 3-turn cooldown there. And then his passive. So it decreases the inflicted damage of the allies from water, wind, and fire damage by 20%. This effect is not accumulated with other decreased damage effects. So what that means is he's not going to stack with a Diaz passive. They're just not going to get it. So you could use him with a Darien or Diaz, because the Darien or Diaz would reduce damage for everything. And then Priz's passive, since it's stronger, it would be used against fire, wind, and water attackers. Now, the downside to Priz is he is super squishy. He's only got 8,000 HP, and he's got 571 defense, which isn't bad. But I don't use him in PvP, and I don't really see use for using him in PvP. He's basically a dungeons monster. Now, his Awakening bonus is crit rate, which is really, really nice. And I've got him on Violent Energy. So I have him attack, I have him crit rate, and I have him accuracy. Now, why would I even bother building him and using him? Why don't I just keep him in storage as a 6-star? The big thing with Priz is that max HP skill scales very, very well. And he puts dot with the first skill. So, I've got him built right here. He's got high crit rate, high accuracy to land that dot on the first skill, and then he's going to crit most of the time, so he's going to do a lot of damage with his second skill. And then he's helping my unit survive by decreasing damage against water, wind, and fire. Well, how is that going to help me? Well, those Hollow Element dungeons, specifically water and wind, is where I'm going to be using him the most. Now, I use him in my B10s of those, so let's go ahead. It's Water Day today, so let's go ahead and go to B10. And now, this is the team that I normally use for Water B10, we have got, where is he? We've got Theo, we've got Galleon, we've got Lucian, we've got Priz, and we've got, she's over here somewhere, Ethna. So I run full damage, so no heal team at all. So we're going ahead and click go on this. We're going to manual this first one, and then I'll run it through as an auto. But I just want to manual it to show what happens. So if I was running this on auto, I would want to make sure that I was going right crystal boss. So we're just going to go ahead, time to loot. We're just going to, I brought the wrong, oh, this might fail. I just realized I just brought my Lucian that's not really rude. Oh, well, I guess we'll just use second skill. Alright, so this is Priz's first skill on a crystal. It does 5,000, so it's not very impressive. But again, he doesn't have a ton of stats. Let's increase that speed back up. Let's go ahead, just throw that on there. Let's just go ahead and try to kill the golem. Alright, armor break. I just realized I brought the wrong Lucian, so don't worry about that Lucian's damage. It's not really important. It was just really to clear these waves faster. Let's kill that crystal. Nope, didn't kill the crystal. Yeah, I guess we can use this. Doesn't really matter as long as we kill everything. There we go. All right, so now we're on the boss stage here. So I'm going to go ahead and time to loot. Now, I'm going to want to kill this right crystal because it puts or removes all the harmful effects and grants a boss immunity. So there's two ways to do this: is you either kill the right crystal or just go straight boss and bring buff removal. I don't really care about bringing buff removal, so we're just going to go straight for the crystal here. Now, we're going to use Elemental Explosion. So this is second skill on the crystal. We're going to see how hard it hits for. So it's going to go ahead and hit. It hits for 46,000. So it's 46,000 damage on the crystal. It is pretty dang nice. I'll speed that back up. We're going to go ahead and keep throwing some dots on there. That's why I used Essence first skills, because it brings the dots. We're in Ant Magic, so ignore that defense. Alright, we're going to go ahead and there we go, threw a dot on there. Alright, so we are basically, actually just throw a dot on too. So we basically killed it now, but we just need the boss to get rid of his immunity, which is going to be annoying. So we're going to go ahead, so that crystal's down, and then we can go to the boss. Alright, so we've still got to wait for one more turn of immunity, which is fine. We're just going to keep hitting with our first skills, just because we're manualing it for no reason. Alright, so we got that third skill up, so even with immunity, so no defense break, no attack buff. His second skill on Water Boss hits for 117,000. So that's pretty solid damage. I know there's a lot of monsters that will do stuff like that on the Water Boss, so it's not overly surprising that he does that. Alright, and as you can see, he's reducing the damage done to by the boss, so no one's taking a ton of damage. So we can go ahead and start stacking those dots on there. Alright, so we're going to time to loot. Let's just Ant Magic. Let's capture. So like capture is 42,000. Not bad. Alright, so we got that third skill. We got Armor Break and we got Attack Buff. So here we go. So Elemental Explosion, Armor Break, and Attack Buff does 232,000. So it takes a good chunk of the water boss's HP because he's a very high HP monster. So we're still just going to try to be stacking those dots. That's what I bring Ethna for and Theo, because they both have dots on their first skill. It just helps us clear it a little bit faster by stacking those dots up. And then Priz just keeps on laying those dots on, because that's what I have him there for. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Let's try to get defense break back out. Let's defense break back out. There we go. So 2 turns. Let's go ahead and we just shoot him. Doesn't matter. Alright, so let's show it down again. So no attack buff, but defense break. He does 218,000. So again, not that bad. Alright. We're going to keep going. We're time to loot. Let's might as well capture. So 42,000. And he's going to keep laying those dots on there. So he makes it a lot easier to kill the boss because his second skill does a ton of damage and his first skill keeps putting those dots on. So it just makes it go by a little bit faster. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to do one more run with the same team, but we're going to put it on auto. Just to show you, it's actually a lot. Oh, I capped this. That Lucian's only half ruined. That's why he's doing no damage. In the process of finishing up my Lucian, he's my. If you notice, he's on Will. He's gonna be my Will Lucian. So I'm still got 2 more runes to finish on him: his crit damage rune and his speed rune. So he's not gonna be doing too much damage, unfortunately. But I don't think it will matter that I grabbed the wrong Lucian. It happens way too much actually when I have him out. That's why I normally keep him in storage so I don't run into this problem. The annoying thing about the water boss is that he does do the stun, but again, Priz is actually kind of acting as our healer in a way because he's reducing that damage that the boss does. So the boss is doing 20% less damage every single time he attacks, which enables me to not bring a healer to this stage. And then we down that tower so fast, we don't really have to worry about the immunity too much. And Priz's second skill goes right through the immunity, so when the immunity is up, it's not too big of a deal. And it's normally up for just 1 turn there. And then, ooh, we got a slow on the tower. That was nice. Thank you, Lucian. And then we can just kind of just go through the boss here. So the nice thing about Priz, as you can see, he just keeps laying dots down. And he's going to keep hitting for really, really hard against the water boss. So we got a 1 resistance. It's the one thing, that's why I have accuracy on him, is because when I didn't have accuracy on him, he never put dots out. So he does need accuracy to land those dots. But as you can see, I'm really not in any threat of dying, even though the boss keeps stunning me all the time. And we got the heal recovery debuff. That's why I don't like bringing a healer to this stage, because it's really annoying having that heal recovery debuff. And we are done. So that was, let's see what it's going to say. So 1:43. So it was a little longer because I brought the wrong Lucian. But as you can see, he just makes my dungeon runs a lot easier. We'll do one more. Let's put in my actual Lucian. There we go. And see if that speeds things up a little bit. But the main goal of him is to lay those dots down on the boss and do the the max HP damage, so he just does a lot more damage to the crystals. Let's say thanks for derping Lucian and Galleon. Let's see, are you going to not derp this time, Galleon? Thank you. Hopefully we can just clear these real quick, now that I have my actual Lucian. Alright, so now we're onto the tower already. Bringing Galleon to here kind of helps a little bit because he normally knocks down that tower a little bit, so it takes a little bit longer to get the immunity out. But as you can see, it definitely helps having a dot monster. So, again, I use him all the time in water and wind halls because I normally just kill that right tower and then go boss, because it's just for me, it's the easiest way to get it done. All right, so there's immunity gone. We already got 2 dots on from him. We got our armor breakout, and now it's pretty much just hopefully he just keeps putting not get stunned like that. That's the other reason I have him violent, because in these stages, especially water, he gets stunned a lot, and if he can proc and do some good amount of damage, that's just helping me out. So he's a very good dungeon monster for me, but he's gonna kill himself. Yep. And he dies this stage, but that's fine because this run's still gonna be pretty smooth here. Let's see. Ooh, Theo might die too. Are we gonna fail? Are we gonna fail? I've never failed with this team. Now we're not gonna fail. We are plenty safe here. We just need 1 dot to go on, really. Uh-oh. Didn't get that 1 dot. Nah, it's fine. He's got so much HP, but he does almost 0 damage. So, Priz died there. Doesn't even matter. So that was 146. So we didn't gain any extra time because Priz died. But that's what I use him for. He is basically there just to speed up those teams in the B10s. So water B10 takes a long time, but my B7 runs about a minute, so it doesn't really matter if I'm doing a minute 30, minute 45. I'm fine with doing B10 because I find the drop rates to be better there. But that's what I have him 6-starred for, and that's what I use him for now. I would say originally I was trying to make him work in Giants. I was trying to make him work in Dragons. I couldn't make him work. I probably could now, but at this point it doesn't really make sense for me to go back there and alter my teams to fit him in there when I use him in when I'm farming essences. So was it really worth it to 6-star him? At the time, I thought it was a good idea. Now, he speeds up my runs a little bit, so it's not the worst thing in the world to have as a 6-star, but I'm making use of something that was originally an accident, or like, cause that was one of those times before you get into the game, you go like, oh yeah, this monster's awesome, I'm gonna 6-star it, he's gonna be so good, and then you go, huh, not so much. But I'm making good use of him, and at least I still use him as a 6-star, which, like some of the other ones later in this series, I don't use at all. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.